welcome back to 101.5 WOCB here in Fox Lake, Illinois. You listen to ISD here with Devonn.
And Pierce.
How you doing today, bro?
Pretty good.
Good. Did you fix your ashy problem yet?
No, I don't have any lotion on me, so I'm just going to be ashy for the day.
Dang.
Which is cool. I've done it before.
Oh, yeah, we've all been ashy, especially if you're a dude. Some days you really just don't care, and you're really out in the rush. I was notorious being ashy when I was a kid.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah, like,
kind of gross.
It was, like licking my hands, so then I'll go meet people, so I'm going to look super ashy, then like 20 minutes it wears off because I'm still ashy. Yeah, no, that was definitely me. Man, first thing we got on the docket today, guys, we got positive news. Now, first thing we're going to start off with, very controversial. Not everybody's a big fan of Kanye West. I am, in terms from a musical standpoint. Mm-hmm. What he's doing is that he's building a Star Wars-inspired housing for the homeless. Now, it's a very unique setup, obviously, but the main thing that's super dope about this is that it's going to be made for low-income families, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome that he's doing it for people that need the help. Is it like, when you say Star Wars inspired, because I saw the headline, I didn't read too much into it, but like, is it like the theme of Star Wars, or is it like architecturally wise, it's like inspired by something in Star Wars?
Architecturally, I saw the I read the article and I saw like the domes. I've never been the biggest fan of Star Wars, but I've seen some of it.
Yeah, me either.
And I saw like the little domes of it, and they had like a darkish gray charcoal color going on right there. So I think it's inspiration from the actual architect in the movie, which I think is super dope.
Okay, well that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's gonna be super efficient and stuff like that. But either way, I mean, he's helping out the people who need to be helped, and that's what I feel like everyone was expecting from Kanye anyway.
Mm-hmm.
From the type of beginning he had, So I'm kind of glad he's kind of going into that, now, in his own way.
100%. Next thing we got is Jaden Smith. Now, Jaden Smith's been on a tear lately this year in terms of being positive, just really doing super dope things.
Yeah.
Had an album come out not too long ago, Siri, if you guys want to check that out. And then on top of that, he also put the water box in Flint to help give Flint clean water. On top of that, he also opened a food truck for the homeless, for the low-income homeless in LA. Now, it's free food, and it's also vegan food, which I think is really dope because it's
really cool.
Teaching people how to be healthy.
Yeah, I mean, he's a super positive person. That's the kind of person you need right now in today's society, especially as a role model to just the kids out there.
Mm-hmm.
He's the kind of guy you want to do it. And yeah, I mean, whether you like his music or not, you can't deny he's a really positive dude, really actually doing things that are impacting people directly.
100%.
I think it's dope what he did with Flint. It's still kind of crazy that they don't have clean water, but hopefully that does get figured out soon. But yeah, he's just trying to do what he can, and hopefully people kind of take notice and follow suit, especially people that have the power to do so.
Yeah, 100%. There's nothing like making a difference, especially if you have that privilege, you have that power.
Mm-hmm.
So big shout out to Jaden Smith. It's amazing to see someone with the platform making changes all across the world. As I said before, this goes back to him creating the water box. This is really dope. Now, you sent me an article on something pretty positive here before we go into our next song to wrap us up. For what I see here, it says California is now the first state to ban racial discrimination against natural hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where'd you pick that one up at?
I was on Reddit, just scrolling through. But I mean, I saw that and I thought it was dope. I mean, it's kind of obvious. It's obvious. It doesn't make sense to not hire someone over their hair, especially if it's cultural or whatever the case is. So I think that's just a big step in the right direction, especially when it comes to just random things that don't even matter anymore. Just kind of getting those fixed, taken care of. So I think that's dope that they did that.
Yeah, it is really petty to really focus on somebody's hair. I mean, obviously, if it's a requirement for the job, like if you're going to be working in huge machines and stuff like that, you got dreads, obviously, I think that might be an issue.
That might be a danger to you.
Exactly,
But if it's, if it's just based off performance and they're like, well, we don't like your dreadlocks, it's like, what? That doesn't matter.
Yeah, super petty, super duper petty.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. All right, man, that was Big Critics here. What do you think of that album?
I like it, honestly. I think every song is well crafted. The lyricism's there. The features definitely do what they need to do. The J. Cole feature was nuts as usual.
As usual.
Yeah, but it's definitely gonna be something I'm gonna be listening to for a while. I haven't really gotten tired of any songs yet. For me, at least. How about you?
100%. Me either. My favorite song is gonna be Outer Space.
Yeah.
Just how clean that beat is and what he's talking about on there. And then the song, which one is it? I can't remember the song where he has the bars. It's like a bunch of NBA players. That was so hard to me. That was genius.
My favorite song on here is Mississippi.
The end of it. Yeah.
That beat's just so nuts, man.
It is.
I was like, wow.
And he did his thing too. And for it being surprisingly a longer album, 19 tracks, like, I really couldn't find that I'd skip.
Well, I mean, this last one was like a double album, so that one was super long too. So, I mean, and every song on there was really, really good.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't like those albums where you got 30 songs, but only like 8 are like nice. Everything else is just trash. So
Yeah.
it was both those albums really good. This one's really, really good. I'm definitely gonna be playing this for the whole summer, probably the whole year.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to check out the last one. I listened to the singles he put out, which crits here, and then the other one which I've been waiting, I believe. So those singles are pretty dope. But this album itself is really solid. I'm not disappointed at all. So especially because I'm coming off that Revenge of the Dreamers thing, and I'm trying to really wean off the album before I play it out too much. So yeah, this is definitely a good fit. So all right, guys. Next thing we got up. If you guys have been paying attention to news, you heard the name Jeffrey Epstein. Now, to make a long story short, Jeffrey Epstein is a convicted sex offender, and he was convicted years ago because he served 13 months for, in a sense, prostitution. He would invite girls in, underage girls, to give him massages, and then from that point, he would molest them. He only served 13 months in jail, not prison, jail, and had to register an offender. Now, the thing that's really complex about this story, to me, is that, one, he got arrested again for sex trafficking, but two, he was allowed back in that inner Hollywood circle and was protected by people, which is essentially enabling him to do what he already did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is super weird to me. The fact that he's back in that circle really just kind of brings a question to mind, is that in these higher ups in Hollywood and these things like this and one percenters and whatnot, what actually goes on up there? Because the lady from Smallville earlier this year, you know what I'm talking about? She got convicted for running a sex ring too.
Yeah.
So it really brings the question, like, what's actually going on?
I don't know, man. I mean, I do know that these like sex trafficking rings go, like, they're everywhere, not just here.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Everywhere, and it's a lot of powerful people that are involved. For some reason, I don't know why.
Yeah, it's nuts.
You know, I don't know if it's they've been like that forever, and you know they just happen to have money, or if it's like once you get money, it's like I don't know. I honestly don't know how it starts, how you get in it, why you'd want to start doing it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's honestly disgusting. I'm glad that people are finally getting found out. I'm hoping that more names get dropped. You know, due to the couple people that have been picked up, Epstein and R. Kelly.
Yeah, he got picked up for it too.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully a couple other people's names get dropped so we can start getting these guys. But honestly, I mean, this is just not even a dent into how massive this probably goes. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, who knows who's involved?
Yeah.
You know, probably people that we probably respect and look up to could possibly be involved, and it would change our whole outlook on them. You know, so it's just like you just never know. You never know, and it's just crazy that this is really going on right now.
Yeah, it's nuts, and it's crazy what power can do. Because continuing to talk about Epstein, obviously, you know, being a sex offender, that obviously harms your image, like, of course. What he would do is, by knowing certain people, and these certain people would let him slide back into society and let him host events and things like that, he would donate to places like Harvard, other science foundations, to slowly clear up his name. And I remember there's a photo of him wearing a Harvard shirt. He never went to Harvard. So that's just him kind of being like, hey, I'm still a good guy, I'm being positive. I remember reading something about how he would want to host an event, but his friends didn't put his name on the flyer. So people would just show up to his house, not knowing it was Jeffrey Epstein hosting the event. He just wanted to do it. So that way he could trick people, so that way you're still kind of gliding him back into society and normally, really, like I said, enabling him to do what he's been doing on the slide. And I think his friends are just as bad as him, because you know you're enabling that.
I mean, I'm sure his friends are doing the same thing, you know? I mean,
sick, bro.
You know, who's going to be friends with a pedophile like that?
Nobody,
you know? So
bro.
I'm sure they're all in it. But yeah, I mean, it's just like I said, it's really disgusting how this is going on, and I mean, hopefully things happen. I don't know, man. It's hard to even want to really talk about it, you know?
Yeah, 100%. It makes me sick.
Yeah.
It really does make me sick. How the most powerful people get away with some of the most heinous stuff.
Yeah. When you got money, you know, and you have friends in high places, you can get away with a lot.
That's nuts. And it sucks to bring R. Kelly's name back up, but he was arrested again on the same charges. And on top of that, he also was arrested because I believe it was 20-something tapes got turned in.
20 like
24
tapes of underage.
Yeah.
Things happen.
Yeah. It's nuts. And one thing I think a lot of people are forgetting is that as much as we want to pursue R. Kelly, pursue him and everything like that, we need to also pursue these parents and get them some help, and pursue the people that were in his corner who sat on this information and knew all this stuff.
Yeah, definitely. They're not any better.
No, to me they're almost just as worse.
Oh yeah, for letting it happen.
Yeah,
of course.
100%. And it's just, oh man, it makes me sick. It really kind of makes you think how big this world is, how fast it can all go away. It just kind of reminds you to not put anything past anybody, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, you don't really know people. You know, like you know whatever they let you know, basically.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's putting on a front for somebody. You feel me? So, like I say, I feel like everybody that you know in your life sees you in a different light. You know, so everyone sees a different you. You know, because you're putting on just different faces for everybody. You know, so yeah, you really never know what's truly inside, what people are really down to, especially when they're alone. Like they can get into some crazy stuff.
Yes.
Super crazy stuff.
Yes, 100%. And I think the key for that, you know, is in something that we all deal with growing up, but it's just finding who you are and being honest with yourself. You know, and being, and obviously you want to do healthy things when you're being honest with yourself. Just switching from the topic of what we just talked about. But by being honest with yourself, you can be honest with others. That's something I've learned, and I've had to learn the hard way.
Yeah.
So, and I'm still learning it to this day.
Yeah.
So, and really, it's, you know, you want to treat people right, but you got to treat yourself right first. You can't pour yourself into so many other different kinds of people and fit in so many avenues and trying to make a way up or a come up or nothing like that. It's not how life works. You're going to end up reaching for something that's actually not even worth going for, and then you realize it's not worth it, or it's not even going to be there.
Right.
Or the expectation's different.
Exactly.
So, man, pray for all those little girls.
And boys.
And boys. Yes, thank you. Sorry.
Oh,
Thank you.
Girls and boys.
Thank you. Excuse me. Pray for all the little girls. Pray for little boys. Honestly, prayers for those two so they can be healed mentally.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not condoning their behavior by any means, but obviously if that's what they're doing, something is disturbed and wrong with them, and they need rehabilitation, they need help, they need something. But they can't be allowed to continue to do this kind of behavior.
Yeah.
At all.
Not at all.
At all.
Something needs to be done.
Something.
But you know what the sad thing is, the people that are probably in power or in the spots to do things about it may also be involved. You know, so like they're really gonna take
the people you trust to fix it.
And if everyone has dirt on each other, if I go down, you go down. If I go down, I'm gonna take your. You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
And then we all suffer.
Exactly. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's just super. I don't even know.
I feel you, bro. You know? I feel you. No. It's nuts. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. All right, moving on from that, real quick before we go into the break, the pay difference between men and women in sports, but there's also a big contrast in skill. A lot of people don't watch women's basketball, myself included. I'm not gonna act any different, but one thing I do notice is that the women, 8 times out of 10, are a lot more skilled than the men. Because men, we often rely on our athleticism. Now everybody wants to be a guard. Everybody can dribble, everybody can shoot.
Right.
But more often than not, people are really knocking the women because they're not dunking, they're not doing this, they're not whatever. But fundamentally, they're a lot more sound than half the guys are.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can definitely agree with you on that. But I think it's the point that there aren't dunks happening, alley-oops and this and that, which is kind of in the high-scoring games, you know, that kind of put them at a disadvantage, you know, because I think people want to see that, you know. I mean, fundamentals is cool and all, but realistically, like, would you rather see a very just fundamental game of basketball, or would you rather, you know, or would you rather see a high-flying, like, just crazy high-scoring game? I mean, I guess it really depends on what you're a fan of, but I feel like most people just kind of go to basketball, just sporting events in general, just to see, like, top athletes doing just crazy stuff, you know. And unfortunately, just due to how it is genetically, it's a group of some women just can't do that. And it sucks, it really does, because I understand where they're coming from, where they want to get paid equally, because they're doing the exact same thing. But it just comes down to more money, you know, generated by them and all that stuff. So I hear them out, though. I really do. But I can't do anything about it, obviously.
Let me write a letter to Dave Stern. Let me take care of that for you real quick. Nah, I mean, I 100% agree. One other thing is, because they're not athletic, they also have to work harder for their buckets, is another thing. And the reason why this conversation started, even though we're talking about basketball, is the women's soccer team, you know, there's a pretty big issue in terms of how they're being paid. They just want to work up.
Yeah. I don't know how it is when it comes to, like, national teams and payment.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I'm sure it's not the same as like NBA and like NFL and stuff like that.
Right.
It might be though. I really don't know. But if a team's just performing very well, you think that they would continue to be getting paid. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't know if it's again just whoever, you know, the more people that watch, the more money you get and stuff like that. I don't know if that's how it is, but I mean, they just won 2 World Cups, I think, back to back. That's nuts.
That's really hard.
They are the best team in the world, women's soccer team in the world, like for 2 years in a row. You think that would at least give them some type of boost in pay, you know, and as they're performing, while the men's soccer team is underperforming. They underperform all the time.
They get washed every cup.
Granted, they were in. I forgot what it was, like the Gold Cup or whatever, but they were in the finals against like Mexico. They lost 1-0, so I mean it wasn't like a beatdown or anything like that. But like still, like the women's team is just continuously outperforming them. So it doesn't really make sense. So they're not getting paid more money, you know.
100%, and because if really you think about it, you think you pay them on performance.
You're right. You would think, and like winning. You know, is how successful you are. You know, the worse team you are, or the worse off of a team you are, the less you get paid. You know, the better team you are, the more you get paid. That's you think that's how it would be.
Right.
I guess not.
No.
I guess I'm gonna have to see the differences in pay.
Yeah.
To see how drastic it is.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, and because people forget this, that while they are athletes, unfortunately, they're also entertainers, and even though entertainment is such a fine line in terms of like how people should be paid, morality, things like that, it's also for us to watch, and depending on how much revenue they're bringing in, because the more people watch, the more revenue you get, the more jerseys you sell. The athletes should be able to profit off of some of that and do a lot more things. It really does suck that these people who are literally peak physical condition have dedicated their whole lives to this, and they can't reap everything that they deserve.
Yeah, it's kind of a slap in the face.
Super
and obviously, you know, they're clearly doing it for more than the money. You know, I mean, they're super successful. I mean, I'm sure this team's gonna go down in history as one of the best soccer teams, at least women's soccer teams, probably for America at least.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about the world, but either way, I mean, they're doing things that our men's team isn't getting close to. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I mean, payment would just kind of seem like the obvious option. Like, okay, yeah, here you go. You're just the better team. You're doing better than everybody else.
Right.
But for some reason, and I'm trying to look up the statistics right now to see how drastic it is. But I'll let you know when I find that.
For sure. While you do that, we're going to do a quick break, guys. And big shout out to Hobby for listening, bro. We appreciate you. Next up, thing we got NBA free agency. Bro, what did you think of the Russell Westbrook to the Rockets trade?
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm curious to see how it's going to play out. Apparently, I mean, James Harden and Westbrook go back years, apparently. So, I mean, they clearly have the chemistry there. It's going to be interesting to see if they can play together and possibly win a championship, you know. But yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a good move for them. I think it's going to be a good move. I did think for a while that Westbrook was going to go to Miami. That's what everyone was saying.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, okay, I can see him at Butler. That'd be kind of cool. But it just makes sense to see him go to the Rockets with Harden.
Yeah. One thing I will say about OKC's blow up is that it all happened so fast.
Yeah, that was like
weeks.
Actually, not even that. Think about it. It happened when they lost to Trailblazers.
Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah, that.
You know what I'm saying? Because that's when
Dame shot changed everything.
It was clear that it was like, okay, this team isn't, you know, it's probably not going to be going far.
Yeah.
You know, after a couple of years of trying it out.
100%. And, well, yes. And I made the opinion I was wrong. I say Dame Lillard's shot changed the NBA, but I was a little bit overstepping my bounds when I said that. He changed a good chunk of it. Because my thing is, had they won that series, they had to play Denver the next round, and I think they lost to Denver. I think Denver would have beat OKC anyway. Just in terms of Jokic, how deep and overall that team was. Denver had a whip this year.
Yeah.
But besides that, you know, I mean, the blow-up was going to happen. But my thing is, I'm surprised at how fast, like, it all happened in a week. Paul George, gone. L.A. And then Russell Westbrook, gone. Sabrina's gone. It just happened like so fast out
Yeah.
of nowhere. That's what I mean by quick. I mean, a lot of us saw it coming, but just how fast it happened was like really shocking to me.
I feel it.
That was, and then OKC re-up. They have a ton of picks now. They re-up really.
Oh
really,
yeah,
really quick.
they got mad picks.
It's not even
wild.
funny.
So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with that.
Yeah.
In the coming years.
Yeah, I wonder what the Clippers are gonna do for picks. Cause
Yeah.
I mean, they have Kawhi, but in terms of picks, I mean, hopefully they can do like a Boston situation. Cause Boston's set. Tatum, Brown, Marcus Smart. I mean, they let Rozier go. He's a walk-in bucket. But it's stuff like that. I'm really kind of excited to see what they're gonna do in the future. But for right now, I was kind of laughing, to tell you the truth, because to me it just seemed like they really want to get Chris Paul out of there. Because there was this back and forth of, hey, we want to work with Chris Paul, and they say him and James Harden were arguing, which arguing is gonna happen anyway.
Right.
That's gonna happen with anything that you do, sports. Business, me and you argue. So it's just like, it's whatever, So there's stuff like that, but they made it seem like it was so much worse. But really, we don't know. We're only from the outside.
Right.
So, and then they said, management, we want to keep Chris, and yada, yada, yada. And then all of a sudden, nowhere, it's like, hey, we got this young stuff coming in. You're out the door. It's like, oh, okay.
I mean, it happens in business,
Yeah.
like when an opportunity presents itself and it's going to make your team, well, at least you think it's going to make your team better.
Yeah.
Or are you not going to take that?
Right.
And I know CP3's contract was not a good one.
Massive.
Yeah, so they were probably trying to get rid of that. I mean, we'll see what happens. I wonder what's is he going to play in OKC?
Nobody knows yet. They
That
said
would suck.
that it would really suck.
I feel bad for him. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
but I mean, no one's gonna buy him out.
Yeah.
That's a huge contract. I'm not giving up over $100 million to buy you out. You might as well play that out, partner. So I don't know. I mean, another trade option. Everyone. I at first thought LA, but LA doesn't have the cap space. All the cap space is gone, so we can't go to LA. The Clippers or the Lakers, for that matter. Just so we're clear, I would like to see him on the Bucks. I think that'd be a nice thing.
That'd probably be pretty nice. Actually.
Eric Bledsoe's there, but Eric Bledsoe's played with Chris Paul before, and Eric Bledsoe can kind of play the two a little bit. He's more aggressive, whereas Chris Paul can just distribute. I would just hate to see a really good player towards the end of their prime fizzle out like that.
Yeah.
Like, that sucks.
It's just a really bad situation he's in right now. Hopefully he does kind of come out of it better.
Yeah. It's super grimy the way it happened, but now in terms of the way Russ and James are going to play, obviously they're going to have to compromise. They're two super ball-dominant players.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So I just wonder how that's going to work. And with them really having no interior scoring, I always kind of wonder how that's going to play out.
Yeah. I'm assuming that they're going to be able to compromise and, try to figure out a way to play and not have to have the ball to be effective,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, they played together before.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they've talked about this,
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, it is going to be interesting. I do know the Rockets are trying to win. They're trying to do whatever they can to win right now. So it's going to be, we'll see what's going to happen with that. They may make some moves during the season, try to get some key pieces. But it's going to be tough, man. The West is going to be tough this year to come out of. Honestly, it's going to be pretty interesting to see who comes out on top. Do you think the Lakers are going to come out on top?
Out of the West?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, yes. Just looking at how deep that roster is, they picked up, the thing that really took it over for me was Avery Bradley.
Yeah.
That's what really took it over. Lock up perimeter defender, good shooter. They're just so deep. Jared Dudley, Danny Green, Rondo. It's really scary. And
like I said, you gotta fill the team to win, man. You gotta someone has to fill every single team.
Yeah.
But I digress.
I feel you. So, one thing that's really interesting to me, I thought about the Rockets, is that you have a team that shoots a lot of threes, and Russell Westbrook's not a good three-point shooter.
Yeah.
So how is that going to work out in terms of how you're going to play, style of plays? You can just attack the basket, you're just going to post up point guards. What are you going to do?
I don't know. Maybe they're going to try to have a coexistence between Harden behind the arch and then Russ on the inside,
Mm-hmm.
So it's always they can score from either one.
Yeah.
Have efficient, strong scores from either side. So I can see them doing something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it is gonna be kind of interesting because he is not the best 3-point shooter.
No,
so if they try to implement him in the scheme they already have going on, it's that's just not gonna work.
I don't know how that's gonna work. I never liked Houston's scheme to begin with. I never liked the fact that you just chunk up a bunch of threes and You just gotta hope it all goes in with no interior scoring. I've never ever been a fan of it.
Yeah, well, I think they were trying to do something similar to like what the Warriors were doing, but
that's the Warriors.
That's the Warriors.
That's
they got
bro.
2 of the best shooters of all time on their team.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like a little bit easier. You know, but yeah, and not that the Rockets don't have good shooters, but yeah, I mean, it's just you're trying to imitate. You know, like you should just try to have your own thing going on. And I think if you just kind of erase chalkboard and start from zero again, and then try to figure something that's like unique to your team, you probably can do a lot better than trying to mimic something that's already successful, but for certain reasons that you don't have. You know.
Exactly, and I think that's the main thing. Golden State system is unique to Golden State. That's why nobody else can do it. You had Steph, you had Clay, you had Draymond, you had Iguodala. Like, I can't wait for that documentary to come out in like 10, 20 years. They talk about the Golden State Warriors. I'm kind of excited for it. But, I mean, you know, they're them. They're one of the best teams assembled, stack-wise, even before KD, to be honest with you, because they went 73-9 without KD. People seem to forget that, and they love to knock Steph. They say Steph ain't clutch, Steph ain't this, Steph ain't that. You crazy?
Right.
Steph's one of the best players ever, the best shooter ever. Like, don't do that. So, I'm excited to see what's going on in the next NBA season. Now, another quick note from the NBA: Adam Silver made a statement, right? Now, this is in regards to the way players are meeting early to discuss contracts. For the CBA, the bargaining agreement, there's supposed to be a time frame when teams can talk to players. Now, apparently, some of this was violated. That's why some people get fined for tampering, leaking information, things like that. But my thing is, you can only control so much. They're human beings. They have cell phones. They're going to text each other.
Right.
So at what point in time do you try and control every little aspect of it, or do you just let some things happen?
Well, I mean, I think you kind of have to try to enforce your rules, because if you don't, then they'll just do anything. You know, they could do whatever, talk to you whenever, try to negotiate whenever. You know, and then it's just going to be, what's the point of having those rules if you just kind of let certain things slide?
Right.
You know, so you kind of have to enforce them. You know, and obviously they're going to be broken, but these teams have the money to pay these things, so they don't really care. But you have to enforce it, even whether it's followed or not. You can't just come off as like, oh, that's right. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Plus, like, a lot of things that happen in life some things have to just make happen. No matter what the circumstances. Yeah. This is one of those situations where it's like, I'm not going to worry about this little petty rule. I'll eat that $25,000 fine. That's another thing. If I was a player and I'm talking trash, this is way off topic. If I'm a player and I'm talking trash, I'm going to eat that fine. I don't want to get suspended because that's game pay and I'm missing a game. But I'm not really going to be hurt by like a $25,000 fine or something like that. To me, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to keep talking my trash. I'm going to keep going crazy at you. Now, playoffs is different because if you get suspended in a playoff game, that's obviously a whole different scenario. Right. But, I mean, these little $25,000 fines, $40 fines, whatever, I personally don't care for it.
Yeah, I mean, it really isn't much when you're making as much money as they are. Yeah. But I'm sure you don't want to get fined every game. I mean,
no, you don't. Eventually, you're going to get suspended. And those fines do add up, but, you know, like...
I get you, though. Like, if, depending on what the situation is, you know, who you're playing against, and if you're in the playoffs or whatever, like, yeah, I'd eat a couple fines if that's it. If it came down to it. Yeah. If it meant me winning, you know?
I remember Laura came down on a dunk and dunked on the guy. He, like, flexed his muscle and yelled, and he got teched up for that.
Yeah, bro.
It's super soft, bro.
I just wish that the refs would let the players express, be emotional. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a physical game. Of course, they're going to want to, like, scream a little bit if they, they just muscle somebody. I don't know. I think it's kind of, I hate that direction it's going into. Yeah. And, trying to be a little bit more, like, friendly to everybody, like, yo, like, let them be men, you know what I'm saying? Let them do what they do.
Let them handle business.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So, I'm really excited for the NBA season. The Summer League's looking really good. I haven't really watched much Summer League, but one player I did peep was Tyler Hero.
Yeah,
that dude's
going nuts.
Buckets.
He's going nuts. What? I peeped.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Jumpers, super smooth.
Super smooth.
Driving, floating. He's got good height.
Yeah, bro, I watched the game and I'm just like, yo, he's gonna make an impact when he gets in.
Dog, bro. He's out of killing people. Because usually if you dominate in Summer League, then odds are when you get to the pros, you'll be able to contribute. He would just assume you dominate. It's like, nah, it's kind of like a step effect in a sort of type thing. Exactly. You know? It's like a filter. If you can score 30 points a game in Summer League, at least by my effed up math, maybe by the time you get to the NBA, it's like 15 points a game. Or something crazy like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's super dope. He's 6'5", and he got picked up by Miami, and he only did 1 year in college at Kentucky. Of course, Kentucky.
Yeah, of course.
Of course. How do you feel about that? The one and done rule. Do you think it's gonna change?
I don't know. I definitely think that it's. I would like to see players like go into stay a couple more years in school. To be honest, like it'd be nice to see them play like 2-3 years, maybe even just finish it out. Because you got a lot of how many times do you have players like just either try to come to the league as quick as possible, you know, and then they clearly just aren't ready,
right?
You know, or they have to develop more, so then it takes them a couple more years. But if they were to stay in college, or you know, go to college for a couple more years and play and develop their body and develop a sense for the game at that level, like they would come in and be able to immediately impact.
Yes.
You know, instead of having to deal with it 2-3 years of just catching up with everybody else. You know, so but I mean I get it. You know, these kids want money, so they're gonna try to do whatever they can do to get it, and I understand. I wouldn't. I'm not even gonna say I wouldn't do the same thing. You know, but it would just be nice to see them all develop more before they try to take that next step. I think at least. I
agree. I mean, in terms of how the players will develop and how much better players they would be, not to knock LeBron, but can you imagine LeBron did like a year or two of college? Yeah,
he would have been a dog. He would have been a dog in there, and then he would have came in and he would have been even better.
Dude,
started off way better.
He would have had a jump shot way before he got one now. Now the jump is water.
Yeah.
But if you just look, and I think like Kobe Bryant, had he went to college, a year of college, I mean, obviously these players that come out of high school and dominate is super rare.
Super rare, yeah. I mean, like, and there's plenty of players that have come out of high school and haven't dominated at all.
Right.
And are like out of the league now.
Yeah.
You know, so when you think about people coming out of high school, you think of like LeBron, Kobe, you could even like Dwight Howard,
Monte Ellis.
Yeah, Kevin Garnett.
Bucket.
You know, like those players, and it's like, okay, yeah, well, like anybody can do that, but honestly, those are like very, very rare, and you know, in the group of the people that actually try to come out of high school, straight to the NBA.
100%. So I personally will make it 2 years. I think that one, you want to get there. Some people know what they want to do right off the bat, which is fine. But if you're gonna be there, I want you to take 2 years, develop yourself as a player, get a little more comfortable. Obviously, people talking about, what if you injure yourself? That can happen anytime. So
anytime. It doesn't matter. Like, what are you gonna do? Sit out? We've had this conversation
about Zion playing in the tournament. Yeah. And honestly, I'll be honest. At first, I didn't want him to play because if you're going to the draft, you're gonna go number one. Why risk it? Yeah. But I'm really looking back at I would prefer if someone stayed down for 2 years, minimum 2 years. Develop yourself as a player, develop your body more. It's another thing. If you stay down and develop your body, granted, you don't have to be on a team to develop your body, but if you do it while you're still in college, while you're hooping, you get more familiar with the game, you'll probably lead to a longer career as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of things you can learn at college. You know, just dealing with strength trainers and stuff like that, and just, like you said, just getting your body ready, getting your skill set better, and getting, finding those, like, small, like, flaws in your game that you can possibly perfect almost before you get into the NBA.
Yeah.
You know, just to make you that better player, that much faster. Yeah.
So, real quick before we go into the break, I saw a video on Twitter, and this conversation kind of go into the next one, because this is a conversation that can springboard us to a lot of different things, right? What this guy said, essentially, and I don't agree with it, it's kind of messed up, is that essentially every guy or girl has somebody waiting in the ranks for them to pretty much get themselves together, get their, I don't know if I can say this on the radio, get their hot boy or hot girl out. I can't say their garden tool out their system.
Yeah.
There you go.
I feel you.
Yeah. To get that out their system. Now what they're saying is you keep them in the weight, you keep them in the bullpen, and so you get all that out, and then you decide to actually all right, let me get myself together, let me spend time with this person.
Right.
And I don't know how I really feel about that, because now I guess every situation is different. Do you consider the bullpen the friend zone, or do you consider it literally like just being like, hey, I like you, but just wait here for 1 second while I go do what I want to do? You know what I'm saying? If it's the second one, that's messed up.
Yeah.
You can't be doing that to people, bro. Like, not only are you gonna mess up a friend, and I think this is what a lot of people don't understand, is that the basis of any relationship, in society we think of relationships as only romantic when we hear that term. But everybody has a relationship. I mean, you have a relationship with friends.
Right.
Us and Sean have a relationship. That's our boss. Everybody has a relationship. That's just a base word. It just depends on what kind of relationship that you have. By doing that, you're going to mess up your base with that person. Especially if you're really cool with that person.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. You definitely are. That I don't know. I don't necessarily think that's true. You know what I'm saying? Like, everyone has like someone waiting. Maybe like that they don't know. Like someone's like waiting, but like they don't necessarily have them on waiting. You feel me?
Right.
Like, that could be a thing, but I'm sure they're out there. They're like, yeah, just give me a couple months. I'll get back to you.
Right.
You know. I don't know, but that's interesting. That's definitely an interesting point of view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild to me, actually. I would just hate to be in that position.
Yeah, I couldn't see myself in that position personally. Like, I wouldn't just be like, okay, like, I'll be here.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure there's people out there that would be willing to wait. You know, they just love somebody, or at least they think they do.
I was gonna say, do they really? If somebody, you may love somebody, but do they really love you back if they're willing to let you sit there in the ranks and let you get treated like that? Because that's the worst, bro. Like, literally just seeing the person that you want to be with out there just do whatever they want to do, but you want to be with that person.
Exactly.
That's torture.
It's tough.
Ow.
And you gotta watch that.
What?
I wouldn't be able to.
Not even a little bit.
I would not be able to do that.
Not even a little bit. So I think it's a little evil. You know what I'm saying? If you're not gonna take advantage of that person, sorry, Jesus Christ. If you're not gonna take advantage of the opportunity to be with that person, there you go. That was way better. If you're not gonna take that opportunity to be with that person, you need to let them go. The best way to really love and appreciate somebody is let them spread their wings.
Yeah.
But you also want to be there for them too.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people work with goals or end games or schemes behind the thing instead of just meeting someone genuinely and just let it happen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're all guilty a little of it, but you got to grow out of it at some point.
Definitely got to grow out of it. I mean, people got to grow up. You know, got to change. You got to understand that, like, a lot of the things that you may have been doing in your past that may have been messing with people relationship-wise, that it's not always, you can't do that. Especially when it happens to you. I think a lot of time when people get on kind of put on the reverse end of that situation, they realize, like, oh man, I've been doing this for years, you know, and now finally I'm seeing how they felt. Yeah. They don't like it. So hopefully they don't do it to other people. Some people just don't care, and they'll just treat people like whatever, just to get whatever, you know, just to get what they want from them. Yeah. You know, which sucks. You know,
it's evil, bro.
Super evil. But you know, what are you gonna do? Not, you know, some people just don't put relationships in that high of a regard. Some people care more. Yeah,
it's kind of sad. So I pray that does not happen to anybody that I know. Yeah. That's absolutely vicious. Now, I am very big for meeting someone, let it be organic and growing with each other. And if you both agree, like, hey, this isn't the right time, or I'm not really feeling this anymore, or we can just be friends, revisit it, I'm down for that one. But just to be like, you know what, I'm just let you hang out here. I'm going to just let you how you feel for me. I'm going to drag you along, make you think you have a chance with me. And then if such don't work out, I'm back at you. Yeah. Nah, bro.
Right. Because that relationship's never going to last to begin with.
It's not. And then some resentment's going to grow out of that, too.
Oh, yeah.
Big resentments.
Oh, yeah.
What? Like, you just can't drink. Fear by Kendrick Lamar. I really love that song. That's good. It's just a smooth beat. Super smooth beat coming off the album. One thing that's really popular news lately, we want to say free A$AP Rocky, man.
Oh, yeah.
Super messed up situation that he's in. He made the right call. A lot of us would have done the same thing. It was the right thing to do. A lot of people are giving him backlash for his comments that he made back when the whole Ferguson issue was going on. And I understand the issue because I have issue with his comments too. Some people are saying, oh, he deserved to sit in jail because of that. I'm not going to say that because he still did the right thing. But I do believe in karma. And I do believe the energy you put out does come back to get you. You know, what are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I don't like seeing anybody put in jail. You know, I'm a fan of A$AP Rocky, and I think, like you said, he did act rightly so. You know, I mean, he was just defending himself. You know, after politely asking them to like leave him alone many times. So what else are you supposed to do? You know, I'm hoping he does get out soon. Yeah. I'm sure he will, because I just don't know what they would get him on. You know, like what would be the crime that he committed? You feel me? Right. I don't know, but it's not. It's a different country, so they could have completely different laws.
Exactly.
And how it goes and stuff.
That's another thing. Getting into trouble in a whole other country is like one of the worst, especially as an American, because Americans are put on such a high pedestal. Yeah. Especially him being someone of notoriety. Yeah. I don't want to put any words in that government's Swedish. I don't want to put any words in the Swedish government's mouth, but you know, I guess some people like hold him for ransom. I'm not saying that they're doing that, but that's some stuff that happens.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure probably who he is probably influenced their decision to punish him how they are, you know. And that sucks that happens when you're a celebrity, you know. But they probably want to make an example out of him.
That's my next thing. They're gonna make an example like you. Yeah. You Americans can't come here and do whatever you want. It's just like, we're not trying to, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're just trying to make example of us because we're the United States.
Right. Exactly.
And I think he's a victim of that. And that's what sucks the most.
Mm-hmm.
Is that he has to be like the catalyst or the scapegoat of this whole situation where he was just trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Super messed up, man. Free ASAP. Next thing we want to get on to, I was watching an interview with Dapper Dan on the Breakfast Club.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlamagne asked him a really good question. And it was the fact of why do black people value things like Gucci and, a Louis Vuitton over the things that we have that we've created in our own community, things that are black owned.
Right.
Why do we value these brands over the other? And I think the reason why is because, one, it looks flashier, and like what Dapper Dan said, it sells you a dream and a fantasy.
Yeah.
One thing I also think is a very big attribute of it, and me because I work with kids a lot, is the fact that we hear in our raps, we see the NBA players wear it. And a lot of times in the black community, the people we look up to are rappers and athletes. And so we hear these rappers talk about it, which they always, for years, been talking about Gucci, Gabbana, Rolls Royces, all these super high, inexpensive material things.
Yeah.
Same thing with athletes. We see them wear the big, dumb chains going into games and all the other kind of stuff. We see these things.
Yeah.
And from that point, we put so much priority in the scene that we go get it at, like, no matter what the cost.
Right.
And I think that's a big part of that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think because of who we're seeing,
Yeah.
and what's being kind of who we're given to look up to as, like, heroes and stuff like that,
Yeah.
role models. A lot of them do stuff like that, rappers, athletes. And again, it's probably because, they come from nothing and they finally get to a level where they're making a lot of money. They're able to afford these things. So they're like, yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't able to get this when I was a kid. Now I'm going to go crazy.
Yeah.
And I have the money to do so.
Yeah.
So I get it. And I'm not gonna sit here and say that I wouldn't buy something extravagant if I just came into millions and millions and millions of dollars. Like, I'm sure I would splurge a little bit here and there too, but it's not okay when a lot of people are getting influenced by that, and then they're spending their hard-earned money that doesn't go nearly as far as the money that these guys are making.
Yeah.
And they're trying to buy the exact same things, and to flex and act like they're living the same type of lifestyle or have the same amount of money. And I'm sure some people do have enough money to afford those things comfortably, and that's cool. It's whatever. But a lot of people don't, and a lot of people are trying to, for some reason, make it seem like they're living a better life, or have more money.
Yeah.
So it's funny, like you guys live in the same neighborhood, but then this person's trying to dress up and make it seem like they're living somewhere crazy nice and better house. Is like, yo, you live right next to me.
Right, but your water don't work, just like
you know what I'm saying? Exactly. And then, like, some people, like fashion, so they want to buy the nice clothes, this and that, and they put a lot of stress on that. And I guess that's cool. It's a hobby, it's an expensive one, but do you? But yeah, it is something I feel like it's gonna almost been kind of pushed on us a little bit so we're not spending our money on the right things. Because there's plenty of other things we could put our money towards. Investments, real estate, things that are actually gonna help us in the future instead of just something that we can buy that we could ruin with the spill of a drink.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
literally.
Yeah. And that's hundreds of thousands of dollars people are spending.
Yeah. And sometimes it can get you robbed.
Oh yeah.
A lot of times, you see, and you hear these stories about rappers going out with their chains or these belts to get their chains snatched.
Yeah.
And it's just like you paid $400,000 for this little chain that you might not even care about just for it to get snatched. Now, if it's a memento and it means something, okay. I can only speak from my point of view. If it's a momentum and it means something, then okay, cool. Like, if I was of that stature, I'd probably have a really nice car. Maybe I have a nice house, but I wouldn't go super stupid crazy, especially if I didn't have it. Like me now, I don't make that much money. I'm fake rich. I just live at home and don't pay no bills.
Right.
So I personally, I don't want to say the concept of, like, me very well. How crazy would you look at me if I came tomorrow and I bought a Gucci belt?
Yeah, it'd be like,
be stupid.
It doesn't
like,
make any sense.
I have no reason to buy a Gucci belt, and I shop like JCPenney's and like the mall. Like,
exactly.
what's the point?
Exactly.
Like, it's just trying to look a certain way, so you can portray these things. It's so surface for a belt that you might lose or say you get fat, you can't wear it anymore.
Exactly. And I've noticed a lot of times I'll see people wearing like these nice like Gucci belts, and they could, obviously could be fake too. Like, a lot of these things I'm probably sure are fake.
That too, but they play retail price for it.
Yeah. Oh, probably something close to it. But either way, like, you got guys getting these expensive belts, and the clothes, like the pants are holding up, aren't even good quality. Like, the clothes are rocking it with isn't nice. So like, are you really trying to flex a belt to me right now when
But
the rest of you is trash?
But I got this belt.
That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, cool. Like, I don't care. You feel me? Or they have one and they wear it to death. You know, like they have one pair of Timbs and every day doesn't matter, wearing it to death, trying to be fresh. It's like, bro, like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to try to flex to me when you clearly don't have it.
Right.
You know, and you should be trying to work to get it, or if anything, take the money that you did spend on that and put it for something that's gonna help you out in the future. You know. But these are things that have to be taught to people. You know, like right now, like when we were younger, that's what we see. Like I said, when we're growing up. And if no one steers us in the right direction, then that's what we're going to want to spend our money on, is trying to look good for society. You know, because I guess we feel that we need to have a certain, you know, at least look like we are at a certain level, you know, of class.
Yeah.
Whatever that may be for you. But, yeah, I mean, I think if you just kind of focus more on putting your money into what's going to help you, then eventually you'll be able to get to a level to where you can afford that, and you really can afford it, and, like, wear stuff that makes sense, and, like, you won't be stressing. You know, but there's no point in buying that stuff when you are struggling to pay the bills.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like, you really, come on. Let's be smart here.
Bro, I remember I was getting a haircut. This is when I was in high school. And they were talking to this dude, and dude had a decision between buying a car and buying some Yeezys. And he bought the Yeezys.
Really?
I promise to God. I will never forget that for as long as I live. And Yeezys are not cheap for people that don't know. Yeezys, $200.
I mean, it depends on what kind, because
was it Red Octobers?
They were Red Octobers he was talking about. Those are expensive.
I think they were.
Those
go for like $1,000, right?
Bro, those are expensive.
Way more than $1,000, right?
Way more.
Yeah, he could have got himself a quality used car, and he chose the shoes, bro.
Priorities, bro. I mean, some people just have them different. I mean, I bet he looked good walking. If he even wore them, he probably didn't even wear them realistically.
I don't even remember.
There's plenty of people that spend thousands on shoes to never even bring it out the house. It's like, why do you even have it? Like, nobody even knows you have it. What's the point? But I don't know. But yeah, I mean, like I said, there's just certain things that people put up, you know, on a pedestal and try to chase that dream of, I guess, looking like they got it, like, you know.
I think also it's on our leaders, our rappers, our entertainers, our rappers, athletes, and actors. You know, the people that the youth really look up to, including myself, that we look up to really portray these messages and understand the weight of their influence, the power of their words, to really influence these kids, these young people, to be like, you know what, man, do something smart with your money. DJ Envy puts a lot of his money back into real estate. He's on Instagram putting these videos up every day, showing these people what you can do with your money to be better. That's the kind of stuff that I like. I think that for us to break that cycle, and Kanye West made a good point about this. They say how we're slaves to these brands. A lot of people forget about this, but as a black...
Including his. But I mean, you know?
I
mean,
forgot about that.
He's right. I mean, and he's not the first person to say. He's not going to be the last person to say. Like, I mean, we are, and not even just black people, people in general.
Correct.
You know, are slaves to brands. You know, and it's hilarious because I guarantee you the really successful people, the owners of these brands, are probably looking at us laughing like, man, they're buying, you know, they're loyal to this brand when, you know, the Walmart version is the exact same thing. Literally the exact same ingredients, it's just not in that package.
Right.
Same factory and everything, you know, but you're going to that just because of what it says on there. You know, you'll be self-conscious if someone sees it's in your cart. You know, oh, you didn't get tied, you know, you got great value. Like, it's the smallest stuff, but it happens like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys that are successful and aren't even spending their money like that are probably laughing at us, just thinking like, you know, we're all chasing this one dream that they're living, and they got there in a completely different way than the way that we're trying to get there and trying to look like it, you know. So, I mean, you just kind of really got to take a step back and think about how are all these people that were the dream that we're chasing, you know, all these successful people, how did they get there? Right. You know, and I'm talking more so like when it comes to like business and like just entrepreneurship, not so much sports and music, because those are like one in a million. It's hard. It's super. You can be good at basketball, but there's a difference between being really good at basketball and then being an NBA player. People don't understand. That's just how it is, you know. So, you know, don't try to chase something that you don't think you can get to. Right. You know, and I'm not telling people not to chase your dreams, but you also be realistic at the same time. And if you're trying to be wealthy and just be successful and whatever success is to you, you gotta look at the people you're looking at and how did they get there. Right. You know, I gotta do what they're doing, not what everybody else is telling me to do. Because if I was supposed to do what everybody else is telling me to do, everybody would be rich, because that's what everyone's hearing. Yep. You know, so you have to look at what these guys did, you know, the struggles that they went through. Sometimes they had to go a year or two without going out every single weekend, you know, and partying and this and that. Like, you have to save, invest, like, you gotta work, you know, like, to be successful, you gotta struggle.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand that or don't want to have to go through that. They don't really want it that much.
Right.
You know, so they'd rather just, like, pretend.
It's like, I saw a picture of the iceberg. You know the iceberg metaphor?
Mm-hmm.
Where you only see the top of the iceberg, you're like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But the bottom of the iceberg, that ship, the Titanic,
huge.
is gigantic.
Huge. And
down there, it really shows symbolism of, you know, hard work, discipline, dedication. When I think of something like this, I like to think of a tree, right? A tree is nothing without its roots. We are in the phase of our lives now where we're nurturing our tree of life. We're watering it with experience, education, networking, putting seeds down, mulch, whatever you want to call it. It's getting taller and taller and taller, but you have to keep feeding this tree no matter how tall it gets and how many branches you get until you can eat the fruits of your labor.
Yeah.
That's one thing I really try and remind myself a lot, because until you nurture that tree and really grow, you're never going to get the fruits. And it takes a long, long time. Nipsey was doing the marathon thing for over 10 years.
Yeah, a lot of these rappers that are blowing up are 30-something years old, you know, and they're just now popping, you know.
What?
But at the same time, and it's hard, especially in the social media age, and especially for just our generation, even people older than us or even younger than us. Like, when you're on social media, you're seeing your peers, you know, or people that are your age successful in whatever, especially when it's younger. Imagine, you know, you see 20-something-year-olds. I'm making millions of dollars doing this, and that. And it's like, man, like, they're over here living life,
right,
you know, doing whatever they want to do. What am I doing?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but, and as much, and obviously you're still doing stuff. Like, radio, like, there's still things that we're accomplishing in our own lives. And every person, individual lives that's listening to this. But we look at them and we just think of ourselves as, like, losers. You know, we can't get anywhere. And a lot of the times people expect just instant gratification and instant success. And they're like, okay, well, I'm going to try something. If I'm not successful in a month, then I'm just gonna give up. Like, you know, I'm not gonna do it. It's like, but you gotta understand that the majority of people that do get successful in those ventures are working at it and have failed many, many, many times, and have had to relearn and, you know, and sit back and think about what they've done wrong so they can do it right in the future. And then once they get to that point, succeed. You know, they gotta go through that. And a lot of people, like I said, just don't want to do that, or don't know if they have to do that, or they just don't want it enough to go through that struggle, and they'd rather just be content with the lives they're living.
It's a painful process. And speaking for myself, to really succeed at this radio stuff, I've had to, and I still have more growth to do, but I've had to really change my character. Change the way I work. I have to become more disciplined. Like, I can't leave here and then go hang out with my friends. Like, okay, wait, I gotta go home. I gotta upload the video to my computer. Then after that, I gotta answer some texts and phone calls. I gotta drive home, upload it, get some edits done. Then I gotta be at work at 6:45. Then I gotta get off. Then I gotta go work out. Then I had to change myself as a person and really invest all my time into this for this to go to where it's at. I don't think people grasp that and how painful the process of change is. Change is supposed to be uncomfortable, painful. It's not supposed to be good.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you're changing, you're just getting out of your comfort zone. And you're doing something different. You know, you're expanding your horizons, and it's gonna be weird and awkward at first. You know, but once you can learn to start saying no to a lot of things, you know, that you may want to do it, but it's gonna, you know, you may have to spend money. You know, I can't do it. I'm trying to save up for whatever. You know, or no, I can't go. I gotta practice this, or I gotta edit that. You know, like, once you can start saying no and learn that you're not saying no and you're not missing out on anything. You're working on your craft, or you're working towards what you want to, you know, your goal in life. And, you know, once you learn that and you can put that in your head, like, saying no to that stuff is nothing. You're like, no, like, I got bigger things I'm working on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure, like, you've seen in life, you've seen kids that you like, oh, bro, you trying to hang out after school? No, I gotta go study. I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And now they got scholarships to college. They're doing, you know, big things. And you're like, man, like, we never really kicked it, but I understand why now, because you were working towards something else.
Yeah.
You feel me? And you had to say no because there was just more important things. You know, and a lot of people just gotta sit down and ask themselves, like, what's more important to me? Success, the goal I want to reach, you know, wealth, health, whatever it is, or is it going to the club this weekend, next weekend, you know, every single weekend? And the thing is, my thing is like, yo, this is the same thing every single weekend. You're going out to the club. It may be different clubs, but it's the same thing.
It gets boring.
You feel me? Like, why not?
And expensive. I mean,
yeah, boring. No, you're good. Yeah, boring and expensive, but why not take, you know, just a couple months and take the money you'd be spending at the club and then just put it in your savings and see how much you racked up. And then once you see that, you can be like, yo, like, I'm spending all this money on, you know, unnecessary things, you know, and I just stacked all of a sudden. Now I can take this and I can go invest in stocks. I can go invest in, you know, that microphone I need to record this, or I can invest in the paints I need to, you know what I'm saying? Or the business, you know, it doesn't even have to be creative. It could be whatever you want. But I mean, to get things in life, you have to be disciplined 100%. At the end of the day, you have to be disciplined. And, you know, you have to drill it into yourself. And I'm talking like I'm disciplined because I'm not. Trust me, I'm not. I'm really trying to get myself to that level. Yeah. But I do know that every time I watch an interview, read a book, read a quote, doesn't matter what it is, like when it's someone that's super successful, they always talk about discipline, being able to say no, working on your craft, and, you know, just getting your priorities straight. And you got to do that. You can't just become successful while spending all your money you make, not working towards your craft. You know, like, it's just not gonna happen. You know,
it's all about time. People either get caught up in chasing their dreams or getting a job. For me, my ultimate dream isn't a job; it's a career. It's a way of life for me. Yeah. And you can sometimes get stuck at your job, doing that job for the rest of your life. I don't want to be that person. I think that's a miserable life to live. You get stuck at a job instead of your career, especially if you know you have untapped potential and there's more that you could have done. And I think one thing people need to realize is that when I talk to kids, a lot of times they'll say, man, Devonn, I got a job. I made it's $15 an hour or $70 an hour. Man, that's solid money. I'm just like, it's cool, but just understand that's not the peak. Yeah. There's way more that you can do with that. And $17 an hour isn't that much, especially because cost of living is going up, and it's really hard to live off of. Yeah. And that's another thing that's where RZA started at, is that just education of our people to understand what's necessary, what's good, what's bad, what's needed, what's not. So I hope everyone can just reach their potential for whatever they want to do. Understand time is way more important than money, and it's not an easy process.
No.
By any means.
It's gonna be hard. It's probably gonna be the hardest thing you've ever to do in your life. Just to get, it's gonna be the hardest thing you ever do in your life to get to the best point in your life. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? You're
gonna be miserable. You're gonna be tired. You're gonna be depressed. You're gonna be all that.
Frustrated. Everything. Yeah. Everything under the sun. But once you feel that first day of success to you, whatever that is, you're gonna be so happy.
You're gonna start crying.
And you're probably gonna start crying and be thankful for the whole journey. Your whole life's gonna be changed. You know, your whole mentality's gonna be different. You know, and you're gonna carry yourself different.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're gonna feel like your confidence goes up. One thing I noticed about my confidence is that it does vary, but when I knock stuff out, I know I can accomplish. I just remember something I forgot to do. When you knock out something that you want to accomplish, your confidence goes through the roof.
Oh yeah.
Like you feel so much better about yourself. You're like, yeah, I just did that. Boom, and you just got to feel better about yourself, and then you just build on it from there.
And what's even better is something that you didn't even think you'd be able to do. You know, and most of the times, it's not so much. Obviously, sometimes there's ability, like you just may not be able to do that. Like if you've never worked out in your life, you're probably not gonna be able to just dunk unless you're like 7 foot. You feel me? But like if it's something that you mentally were like, no, I can never do that in my life. I couldn't do that. I can never try. And then you do it one day and then you succeed, or you realize you're a lot better than you thought, or you're really, really good. You know, like imagine that confidence boost. You know, but a lot of the time, and I've talked about this before, but a lot of the time, what holds us back in life and taking opportunity and doing things that, you know, we really want to do is ourselves. There's nothing but ourselves, our mental barriers, you know, saying that we can't do anything. So I think once you just kind of learn, or even force yourself to be like, yo, like, I'm really scared right now. I really don't want to do this, but I have to do it anyway. And then once you get out there and start doing it, you realize, oh, this is nothing. You know, like how many times have you done something for the first time that you were terrified of, and then right after you're like, oh, okay, like, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Right. You know, it's all the time, but you never like, that was horrible. It's just exactly what I thought it was going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always, that wasn't as bad as I thought, or that went a lot better, or I want to do that again. You know, it's always a good experience, you know, but for some reason we still always have those barriers up. It's crazy. We are our own worst enemies 1,000% of the time. Oh, yeah. Come back to tuning to ISD, guys. Next topic we got, and this has been crazy in the news right now. I'm really surprised this actually happened. It was really stupid. Jermaine Dupri made a comment and said that all female rappers talk about is stripping and sex and all this stuff. I was like, wow, bro. Like, as someone who is a mogul, I would expect a kid to say that. Like, not to disrespect JD, but I expect a kid, like a 17, 18-year-old to say that, bro. Right. But you've been in this game for a while. You work with Missy. Yeah, I don't know.
And Queen, like, where's it even come from, bro?
He probably doesn't include them in female rappers, but I didn't mean them though. You know what I'm saying?
But that's what you said, bro.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you said, G.
I don't know. I mean, I get why the point of view where he's coming from. You know, that's just not true though.
Not even
clearly,
a little
there's
bit.
plenty of female rappers that don't talk about that. Talk about completely other things.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, that was just ignorant to say.
That was ridiculous.
That was just really stupid to say.
I can't think of a way to address it. I mean, like you said, you can remotely see it because, you know, that was the thing at one point in time, I guess.
That was the thing that, yeah.
It was a thing, and I also feel like the women had to.
Yeah.
Too. That's another thing. They feel like they had to. And Cardi B put up a really good video, you know, when she put up, forget the name of the song, Be Careful. And that wasn't about her having sex or whatnot. It was more just about deeper things.
Yeah.
And people didn't like it at first. That's not what they want to hear. But as an artist, when do you find that balance between what the people want to hear and what you want to put out? I don't know. As an artist, if I were to be an artist in my short-lived rap career, I would probably, I don't know. I really want to put out only what I want to put out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more than certain it's, although, yeah, it's, the artist has to make the music, but, you know, depending on if you're signed to a label or not, they probably want a certain sound or a certain type of album from you, you know, to hit a certain type of audience, you know, so you gotta do what the label's telling you to do because that's who you're signed to, you know, so it may not always be up to them, you know, to be like, you know, I'm sure a lot of these artists don't want to just put out whack albums.
Of course not.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but sometimes you have to do that because that's what you're signed to do. You feel me? Or you know, you're supposed to have 5 albums with this label, you know, and you're tired of it, so you just pump out 2 quick albums just to get out of it.
That were booty.
Right, just so you can be done with like, okay, now I can actually start playing again, which has happened before.
Yeah.
You know, so but yeah, I agree with you. If I had a choice, I would be making whatever I wanted to do, and although maybe some female rappers do just want to talk about that, which is cool, you know, do your thing. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can't really be mad at girls or female rappers who do talk about that to want to talk about something else, you know. But I guess it really depends on how they portray themselves and how they're like. I don't know. It's a sick situation because they really talk about whatever they want to talk about.
Just like men
you
can.
know? Yeah.
Just like because
Exactly.
Not to cut you off, but men rappers been talking about sex, money, and drugs for years to this day. Like that's
for like day one, you know.
Always been talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the double standard for women?
I don't know, maybe because like he's saying that's all they talk about, which I don't think is true. There's plenty of female rappers that don't even talk about that at all, you know. Maybe he's talking about, maybe he's also like talking maybe a lot of the outfits they wear on stage, you know, like a lot of the bigger female rappers like are obviously wearing outfits that are just accentuating certain features.
Right.
Like you can't deny that, you know what I'm saying, and the way they're dancing and this and that. And again, they can do whatever they want, wear whatever they want, you know, it's whatever. Like, it's entertainment at the end of the day, you know, that's what people want to see. But if that's what you're wearing, that's how you're making your shows, that's the songs you're about, you know, like, I can see where people are like, well, yeah, I mean, that's what you talk about. Like, I don't want to hear you talk about anything else. Like, I'm listening to you and going to your shows to see this, and to hear that, and to experience this. I don't want to experience something you've never done before.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even if they do want to, make a certain type of song or album.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I guess it really depends, like, on if they put themselves in a box too deep and then try to climb out of that with doing something else. Like, yeah, their fans probably gonna be like, "What are you doing?"
Yep.
You know, like this is why I listen to you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, and I see a lot of female rappers doing that. You know, like just rap about the same things, and then when they try to rap about something else, it's like it's trash.
Yeah.
You feel me?
It sucks how they get put into a box, but in terms of female rappers who don't really sell like sex, things like that, Tierra Whack, fire, no name, fire. You know, and it really does suck, and this is another double standard that women get put on here in society.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, if we're not talking about sex, you're not talking about this, then you don't get put to the forefront.
Yeah, I think that really sucks,
that
honestly, because it's like, you talk about, when it's top rappers in the game, it's always men, you know, but there's plenty of female rappers that can go bar for bar with these guys, like, easily, you know what I'm saying, but you never really hear about them, at least in the mainstream, because they aren't fitting a certain stereotype that's being pushed by the media or whatever. You know, they want a certain look, you know, the big boobs, big butt, long straight hair, you know, like just weird proportions that don't even make sense. You feel me? Like, you talk about like body dysmorphia and all that stuff, and just making girls feel self-conscious. It's like, look at the the people they're looking up to, like the Cardi B's and the Nicki Minaj's and all that stuff, like look at the proportions on them.
Mm-hmm.
That first of all aren't even natural.
Right.
You know, and you have little girls looking at that like, okay, well that's what I have to look. That's what I'm expecting to look like when I grow up, and when I don't look like that, I'm upset. Boom, boom, and all this stuff. It's crazy.
Right.
You know, but they could easily also be huge fans of like No Name, but if she was just like push more, you know, because she's a great rapper too. But if she was pushed and put to the limelight, are people really gonna want to see that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, is she gonna get attention, or is she just gonna kind of be put to the wayside because she's not the typical girl rapper?
Right.
You feel me? Like, I don't know.
It's a super fine line.
Super fine line.
You know, like Tierra Whack could easily out-rap a lot of dudes that we put on the top in the forefront. They get played on the radio every single day. You know? So it sucks to have to climb out of that hole and reinvent yourself and put yourself out there. And it's that weird balance between, are we giving the people what we want so we can make money? Because money, and making money at the end of the day is the primary thing.
Yeah.
And it sucks because money ruins everything.
Yeah.
In a sense. Especially with the arts. You know, it just it dilutes everything.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at situations like that, you know, obviously the sex sells more. You're gonna make more money from it versus someone who's dropping knowledge and teaching you things.
Yeah.
And with hip hop being always been a male dominated sport up until recently, a lot of the female entertainers coming up.
Yeah.
I feel like it's always gonna be that way. I hope not. I really hope not, and it really sucks. But me personally, I can't see it changing. I see women are putting more to the forefront now than ever. But I mean, for a woman that doesn't sell sex, to just be her and just to rap and then be on top of the game.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I mean, it's definitely doable, but it's just gonna be tough. You're gonna be it's gonna be probably gonna be like one, not a group. You feel me? It's gonna be like one girl that's gonna do it. But you know, another thing that I was thinking about, like when it comes to like more male rappers being bigger than female rappers, you also got to think about, like, when it comes to male rappers, you have men and women listening to these guys. I don't think there are guys that do listen to female rappers, but I don't think it's nearly as much as how many girls listen to male rappers. You know, so like that's like double the clicks and the views and the streams over female rappers. Because like I can understand why a girl would want to listen to a female rapper talking about shaking this, blah blah blah, blah, you know. But I don't know if a guy would necessarily want to bump that. You feel me? So you know what I'm saying? So they're not gonna be as big. So of course you're not gonna be as big as these Drakes and J. Cole's and Kendricks, because you're not even getting as many views. You know, and you know that sucks. You know, but at the same time, I guess it depends on like your subject matter, what you're talking about. Like, there's no if that demographic doesn't want to listen to it, like you can't really. What are you gonna do? You can't get mad at them for it. You know. Yeah,
because at the end of the day, we can only go for what the people want.
Yeah.
What they want to hear.
Yeah.
It's really sad, man. Tell us about the being. All right, guys. Today's been a really good day, bro. Really good day.
Yeah.
One thing I'm super excited for is ComplexCon this weekend. Now, if you guys are not familiar with Complex is one of the biggest media outlets on the planet. And essentially, they cover a lot of different things. They cover fashion, they cover music, they cover movies. And essentially, this weekend is going to be a convention that puts all those in one. There's going to be people like Schoolboy Q, Ellie Mae, everyone's going to be there in panels for discussions. The thing I'm most excited for, which I don't get a chance to do a lot, is networking. And networking is so key to whatever you want to do in your life. Whether you want to be a rapper, you want to be a doctor, you want to be a lumberjack, I don't know. Networking is one of the most important things you could ever do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm super excited for that. Next thing, this is really sad. I'm going to say rest in peace to Sadie Roberts Joseph, who was found in the trunk of her car in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. She was the founder of the legendary Baton Rouge African American History Museum. And the thing that's really crazy about this is that how can someone who is such a pivotal leader in the community, who did nothing but promote positive things, end up in the back of a car? You know, she was obviously, the investigation's not done yet, but presumption say she's murdered.
Yeah.
And
I mean, she's in the back of the
she's
car.
she's in the trunk. She's in the trunk. So obviously she got murdered. So to sit here and really think about the fact that someone that positive got murdered really shows there are people out there still trying to kill and oppress people for doing the right thing. And there's also a few other murders in connection to it, because there are a few people from the Ferguson riots who were found dead in the trunk of their car too.
Really?
Yeah. So it's wild to me how even here in 2019, and it's always going to go on, how the people are oppressed is still gonna oppress no matter what. And it's just sad that the lengths people will go to silence a voice or you see to push a narrative that they want.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. This stuff shouldn't be going on. But yeah, I mean, when someone's speaking out against a point that you really feel strongly about, sometimes drastic actions can be taken. You know, and I guess people felt that this needed to be done for whatever reason. Again, like the investigation's not over, so I don't want to just start accusing people of anything because I don't know. But it is sad. It is super sad because she was a big influence in the system, like her community. And to see her go probably hurts a lot of people. So rest in peace to her, for sure.
Big rest in peace. And it almost makes you fear for those who do outspeak against injustice. And it makes you fear for those who actually stand up and say what's right and have integrity to do the right thing. Because you have a lot of people who just fall in suit to avoid things like this, which I can and cannot blame them. Certain people have fear. What we're doing now, what she does, is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, this has been going on since history began. You know.
Oh yeah.
Some people, certain things are supposed to be kept under wraps, and when someone speaks out against it, like, yeah, whoever was, ousted or whatever is gonna want to probably take some action.
Yeah.
And sometimes that action is death, unfortunately. But this has been going on for forever, and sometimes it's bigger than you. Like what you're going to put out and the information you're going to speak is bigger than you yourself, and it needs to be heard. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it just needs to happen.
And but also at the same time, by not speaking up, you are also part of the problem too.
Right.
Depending on the situation and your role in the event, you can become an enabler of that situation too.
Yeah.
So it's a really fine line. But to those who do speak up, all power to you, because things like this can happen. Whether you're a politician, whether you're someone who starts a museum, no matter what you want to do, these things can happen to you, and it's a really messed up part. How someone can get hurt for doing the right thing.
Yeah.
It really kind of breaks morale, though. Be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could question, like, what's the point of being a good person? Good people are getting treated like this, but you just got to do it.
Yeah.
You just got to you can't let them break you. You feel me? You can't let society bring you down and be like, oh, I'm just gonna live for myself and screw everybody else and blah blah blah. Like, yeah, no, be a good person. Be a good person for the sake of being a good person. Don't expect anything back. Don't expect for the universe to give you anything or someone to give you a prize for just being a nice, being generous, helping people. Like, you just gotta do it, because what you do for somebody one day could change their life forever, and they could go on to do great things, or they could go on to change someone else's day the same day. It just starts with one person, one action. So like it doesn't hurt anybody. So I get what you're saying, where it kind of makes you just feel like, what's the point? Like, is anybody even good anymore?
Yeah.
Is anybody looking up for the good guy? But that that should, you just kind of have to be like, oh well.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna keep being, the good person that I am.
Right.
In society.
The strongest thing you can have is integrity. It's not muscles. It's not, best car you have. It's not the biggest gun you got. How many followers you got on Twitter. How much money you have. How much influence. It's integrity.
Yeah.
To stand up and do what's right 1,000% of the time.
Oh yeah.
Even if it's the smallest things. And granted, life is flexible, so things happen. And sometimes, it just happens. You can't stress over every little thing.
Right.
But, if it's to the place, even small things, like you're sitting there with, say you're with your best friend walks out of the room and someone's been talking about him. Are you going to comment on that? Especially if it's something negative, or are you going to sit there and be quiet, or are you going to stand up for your friend? It's small stuff like that that can really show your character. It's not about what you do when people watch, it's about what you do when people aren't watching.
Exactly.
And that's what's most important.
Yes.
And I feel like in this day and age where everything's sped up, everybody's on their phones, everyone's on technology, everything, that should be more important now.
Yeah.
Life is coming to everybody so fast now. We're just desensitized to so much stuff on our phones.
Yeah.
See video, whether it be pornography popping up on my phone, or violence, somebody getting shot and killed, or somebody getting beat up, or just people doing stupid stuff in grocery stores.
Yeah, you just scroll past like, oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Keep going. Like, it doesn't phase you when that stuff is like, should be like traumatic.
Right. Right.
So yeah, but it's kind of crazy the stuff we're desensitized to now.
Mm-hmm.
Just because we see it every day, every single day. It's nothing new.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, man.
And we're losing value when things are actually important that got us to this point in life, that made us evolve.
Exactly. Exactly, like things that we need to start doing again, but it's like people are just so disconnected from that now.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, what do you do?
Mm-hmm. It's super sad. The only thing you can do is raise your kids to be the best they can for the future and give back in every way that you can. You can't save everybody. You can't do everything, but you can do what you can for others.
Yeah.
You know, control what you can control. And from that point, you just go from there.
Exactly.
Man, what can you do? Big prayers out to her family. Thank you for everything that you've done, and we appreciate you. I hope that you rest in peace, man. That's super sad.
Mm-hmm. Rest in peace.
I would love to open a museum one day, though.
What kind?
I don't know. It'd just be dope to be able to educate people on that platform.
Yeah,
at that level. Cool. That's just one of the crazy accomplishments. Like people say, "Oh, I wrote a book or I made $1 million." No, I opened a museum. That's nuts. Like,
yeah,
that's godlike stuff to me. To be able to do something like that, because that's gonna live forever. Even that she's passed away, it's gonna live forever. Now the museum's gonna get more attention than ever. Mm-hmm. Now that she is passed away.
Yeah.
So stuff like that really makes you think differently about life. As we wrap the show up, man, what's on your plan for the week, man? What you got going for this week?
Not much, man. Just work, working out. I'm gonna go visit my guy in Wisconsin the weekend, so that should be fun. But I don't have nothing super big. Mm-hmm. Just chilling, really.
Big shout out to Grant.
Oh, shout out to Grant, man.
G Money.
Hopefully you're listening. What about you? What do you got planned?
Work. As I said, Saturday I got Complex Con going on. Tomorrow I got a meeting that should hopefully bring a new feature to the show that is going to be so dope that is going to knock a lot of stuff out of the water in terms of competition. Not to knock anybody, but we number one. We top 3. We not 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to implement this thing. It'll be so dope if we can do it, which I don't see why we can't. No details right now. But when we get this effect, it's going to go crazy. And people are going to want to listen. It's going to make the show a lot better. And I'm super duper excited for that. When you, in terms of creating something, man, there's no better feeling than creating it. Now I guess I kind of see why people love their kids so much. I mean, obviously they're their kids. But it's just like oh, you're my little science project.
Yeah, kind of, for real.
like you're my little being, and I'm growing you into whatever you want to be.
Growing you into a citizen.
Yeah, law-abiding, well, some laws.
Yeah.
But, I'm teaching you to be a good contributing member of society, a good person. So now I get it. So that's going to be super excited for me. I'm super excited for that meeting. I'm going to be doing a lot more demos, man. My next step is to get better actually projecting my voice more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel you, man.
That's going to be super dope. Next, what I want to work on, though? My diet, bro. And I know I keep talking about it. I really need to get better because my farts smell so bad.
All right. That's gross.
Bro, my farts smell so bad, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Just eat more vegetables,
I
fruits.
Get,
drink water more.
Yeah, I could drink a lot more water, but it's literally like I'll get off of work or leave wherever I'm going, and then I'll eat like 2 bags of chips and a pack of donuts, and then I don't eat dinner, and I'll do that for like a week straight, and then
and eat apples and popcorn.
Yeah,
that's what you gotta do. You can't be eating chips and donuts.
Oh, it's bad, bro. And it's not donuts, Pop-Tarts. I don't discriminate. Sour Patch Kids, and then I can't poop, and then I'm stuck. Then I got abdominal pain. It's just like what am I gonna do?
Yeah. Can't believe we're talking about this. Yeah, man. Just make healthier choices, my guy.
Yeah.
You just kind of have to do it. Frozen fruits are a big. Frozen berries are a really good snack. Mm-hmm. Frozen grapes.
Do you eat them frozen?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I don't but I know people that do eat them frozen.
One thing that hits me though is the Nature Valley bars. The Nature Valley bars are super duper dope.
Those are good, yeah. I mean, but but you gotta eat more than Nature Valley bars for a better diet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but see, for me, it replaces the junk food I was gonna eat.
Yeah.
It replaces that big bag of Fritos I was gonna kill, or that bag of Cheetos and.
Just
whatever.
get some granola or something, and just get a bag of that and eat that instead of chips. It's just as good. Probably better for you for sure.
You know what else is dope? Belvitas. Them little things.
Oh yeah, those are pretty decent.
Woo, the chocolate cookie ones and the blueberries.
I don't really eat them like that. But.
Oh, I smash them. It's either that or it's Cheeto Puffs.
Nah, you're making it out of that.
No. Those are my choices. That's what I'm saying.
So you don't have any other choices other than.
Cheeto Puffs. No, okay, it's not my only choice. But what I'm saying is, it's either I'm eating that or I'm eating junk food.
I hear you, but there's so much other stuff you could be eating.
You're right.
You're making this a lot harder than it needs to.
You think so?
Yeah. You can get dried fruits, you can get vegetables. You just cook some vegetables up real quick. Just eat chicken or rice or vegetables a lot, you know, some fish and vegetables, a lot of vegetables, more vegetables than meats really, you know, just you gotta go that route if you're really trying to like be healthier, you know, eat healthier snacks, drink a lot of water, you feel me? Like, you're just eating horrible for no reason.
Alright guys, we're about to wrap up. Where can people find you at, bro?
You can find me everywhere, every social media, just type my name, Pierce Anderson, and I will pop up. Always.
Alright, Twitter, DC015, Facebook, Devonn Overstreet, YouTube, and School Detention, Instagram, @devonnalan, and of course, you can find us here every Monday from 5 to 7 p.m. here at 101.5 WOCB. You guys have a great week. See you next time.